People often ask me where to buy yerba mate and recommendations, and I'd suggest going to supporting a local store or a small business if possible. However, if you're living somewhere where you can't, like I once was, and they just don't offer the yerba that you want, check out Pampa Direct. They have the largest supply of yerba mate that I've seen, and I've learned and tried so many from them before that I've never seen anywhere else. But not only yerba, they also have dulce de leche, alfajores, shirts like jerseys, games and snacks like chocolinas, which is one of my wife's favorite cookies. And I found some really great recommendations on there for beginners, such as Don Eregi, which is something I learned about by just trying different stuff there. And also some of my personal favorites, which is Pipore and Aguantadora Despalada. They have great customer service that speaks English, and in fact, they shipped me another package of yerba for free after they had mixed up one of my orders. And they always include like little, extras, like little candies and stuff, which is really nice. And they ship anywhere in the world, and they offer free shipping here in the U.S. with an order of $50 or more. That may change depending on your country. And as a sponsor of the show, they offer 10% off on your first order with the code POWER. Go to yerbamatepower.com/pampa to place an order. Again, that's yerbamatepower.com/pampa. P-A-M-P-A. Pampa. Thanks. Welcome to the Yerba Power Podcast. My name is Devin Wagner. I am your host of the Yerba Power Podcast, and I am so glad you're joining me today. Wherever you are in the world listening to this right now, this is for you. It's something that's a little bit personal and yet applicable to everyone. Something I want to share, and also, for those that have been listening a while, unique in the fact that it's a new series. So, this is something related to mental health and mate. So, combining those is a new little series that I'm calling Mental Health Mate Moments, and this is the first episode in this series. And I am taking these notes that I'm going to be sharing with you and from a book called Undistracted by Bob Goff. He is a New York Times bestselling author, someone I've actually met in person. He's a self-described Tigger, the tiger animal off of Winnie the Pooh, because he's always joyful, woohoo, jumping around, waving his arms in the air and everything. He wrote two other really great books called Love Does and Dream Big. They both influenced me. Got a chance to meet him in person, sign the book. It was pretty awesome. Met him in Dallas, and just I guess the inspirational story that he shares, and by way of that, just sharing this information that's helped me. And so just to tie a few of the strings here, so with yerba mate, it helps me focus and also kind of give me energy and clarity, which is kind of why I'm sharing this in the sense of to help with mental health, of clarity and focus, to help you perform your best, to, kind of the negative thoughts, anxious thoughts, those kind of things that we all deal with. But using this as kind of a tool to share this message. And so one thing that I like to do when drinking yerba mate is reading books. It's kind of the focus and clarity thing too, and tying those all together. So this is a way of me sharing kind of all those loves of yerba mate and reading books and providing a way for service for you all of helping, talk about mental health, is that's a big subject in the U.S., but in the world, I think in general, and ways through that, not to make it, like oversell it or anything, but, yerba mate really does help with that focus. Even someone messaged me, a follower on Instagram messaged me about they having dyslexia and ADD and how they literally carry it around at school, drinking yerba mate, and how it's helped them focus, and they share it with their friends, which is another thing, sharing with friends and connection that helps us, as a community to not just survive, but thrive. And so from the book, just to tie that as well, is letting fears and distractions steal our joy and purpose. And so that's kind of the thing with the undistracted. That's from the book, right? Of being undistracted from what's people are going to say, what's going on around you, your fears of the unknown, things like that, or things that are not keeping you on what you really want to do in your life or whatever that is, your goals, that's stealing your joy and your purpose. And if that's literally your clarity of being distracted by just things around you, just the practical sense of that, of just, maybe chaos at work or, coworkers or people in your life, family members, even sometimes, that's keeping you from your purpose. And obviously you can't get rid of your coworkers or your family members, but you can set healthy boundaries, and also not letting, other people's doubts and fears and stuff to influence you. So, not being distracted. So focusing on the things that you want to do not only help you to live a life more of joy and purpose, same thing with Yerba Mate, to help you to be focused on what you want to do. So just sharing a couple stories also from the book of things to, I guess, takeaways, is sharing the stories of failure. So I guess that failure is one thing that he says in the book is failure is an event, not a person. So it's something that happened. Doesn't mean that that's who you are. You're not a failure just because you failed. So in fact, he shares the story, of Michael Jordan. He's in a Nike commercial that I'm sure you could look up on YouTube, where he says, I've missed over 9,000 shots. I've lost 300 games, 26 final game-winning shots where I was asked to take the final shot that I missed. And that's why I've succeeded. So basically what he's saying is that, Michael Jordan, one of the most successful basketball players ever, and that, hey, he failed too. But from those experiences, he succeeded because he overcame those. And obviously he was more successful, or made more shots than he ever missed, I guess. So also that's too, is you're outweighing those. Talks about Einstein, that apparently couldn't speak fluently until he was 9, and also apparently got kicked out of his, or didn't make it into his university in Zurich, Polytechnic School. And J.K. Rowling, who wrote the Harry Potter books, that lived in lived in poverty for 7 years writing the Harry Potter and was rejected by 12 publishers, and obviously is super successful now. So I guess what I'm saying is you can't let those failures, those events that happen, hold you back. And no matter who you are and what you've done or not, God still loves you, and there's still nothing you can do to damage except just accept that. You've all been given, this life to live the best of your ability, and might as well live it to, the best you can. So therefore, focusing on the things that you really want to and not worrying about things around you. So anyways, that's basically the whole thing that I really just wanted to share here, and kind of how this podcast came about, kind of like that. If I could have wondered, and I still do sometimes, about, what's going on around me as far as what our other podcasts are doing, or other people, even in the Yerba Mate space, that are sharing different stories or pictures or photos or whatever. And, there's this kind of almost gut reaction to me to like copy what they do because they're having more success, but realizing that's not my purpose in this. This is not, I guess, about getting followers. It's about sharing things like this, of, talking about mental health, talking about, addiction recovery, like I did in one of the other podcast episodes, sharing stories for people that just learned about Yerba Mate from wherever they are in the world. That's, I guess, the real change that I want to share on this podcast. And I hope that you have also gained some kind of value or hope in listening to these episodes as well. And I'm going to continue to do a series like this mental health Mate Moments, in continuation with my other interviews and episodes. And I would just love some feedback. Message me on Instagram is the easiest way to get a hold of me, and let me know if you listened to this, if you liked it, or if you didn't, that's fine too. I can take constructive criticism. It's something I'm working on, of realizing that all criticism is good, that it's all helpful, a learning situation. So with the courage out there to be honest, be brave, be your true authentic self, because people are fighting battles you know nothing about, and you don't know what's going on in them, but you can continue to be the lighthouse, be the person that is above all the chaos and distraction. So whatever your goals are, continue to stay focused on it. Continue to, do what matters most for the people that matter most to you. So that's my mental health mate moment, I guess, for this episode. Remember, the book is called Undistracted by Bob Goff, so it's nothing that I personally can take credit for. It's from his book. If you want to check that out, I'll put a link in here or something. And otherwise, do me a huge favor and let me know what you thought about this episode. Share it with the people that you care. And if you're not following along, follow along so you don't miss out on the rest of the Mental Health Mate Moments episodes, as well as the other exciting interviews that I have coming up with some really cool people in the music industry, as well as like a DJ and another guy that's creating music, is to be more specific there, that are coming on soon. I've got another community that started up in Brooklyn of Yerba Mate. It's a group there that I'm going to have on the podcast as well. And always looking for other guests, so send me your suggestions as well. Thanks. Talk to you guys again soon. Be well.